All right, good morning, good day, internet. Today, we're going to be doing something with the Honda Civic, I think. Um, let's take a look at these headlights and you'll see, yeah, they're kind of yellowed, right? And you can actually see the difference right there, how clear they should be. So these things are kind of hurting. You can see on this side too, pretty nasty, right? So I want to see if I can't fix that. So I went down over to PepBoys, and PepBoys of all places, right? Well, looking at a bunch of stuff that they had there, and I ended up settling on this, the the Mother's NuLens headlight renewal kit. And there were a bunch of them there. Some of them had attachments that you use to drill, other ones you just rub by hand. I used a turtle wax one not too long ago on a buddy's TL, and that didn't come out so great. Maybe I just didn't put in enough elbow grease on it, but this one actually does use a drill attachment, so we're going to try this and see how it goes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is use some painter's tape and tape around the paint so that way when we do polish it doesn't scuff up my nice clear coat.
It's so sticky.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to have a helper. Alright, get it in between the headlights and the paint and fold it up and over. There you go, look at that. Not bad, not bad. You think we did a good job? Let's see, let's inspect it. Does it look good?
Yeah.
That side, did you check the whole thing? Okay, how about this side over here?
It's not so good.
Is it not so good? Are you sure? Is it a little bit good? Is it good enough for what we need?
Yeah.
Okay, high five. Okay, so after masking off the headlights, I went ahead and attached the attachment to my drill. This is just a Ryobi drill. It's got a low speed and a high speed and a low speed. We're on the low speed one, and we've attached the 800 grit sandpaper to the front of it. Next, what we want to do is have my Vanna White here spray our headlights like that to get them wet. And with them wet, I'm going to go over the headlights with this low speed evenly back and forth through the entire headlight, overlapping a little bit. And then we're going to dry it off and see what it looks like. It should be even.
I want to do that headlight.
Yeah, we got to keep going across this side. Okay, can you spray right here? Right there. Okay. Okay, so now that we've gone over with the pad 800 grit, we're going to just rinse this off and wipe it down and see what it looks like. Alright, so after you go through that first round with the 800 grit, it's going to look pretty nasty. It's going to look like this, and you're going to say, oh my, what have I done? And I'm probably saying that right now. I am saying that right now, actually. But after we go through with the 1500 grit, it should take out the scratches, and then the polish on top of it should make it look better than before. So you can see this is the one I haven't even started on yet. And there's a difference here between really clear and a little bit hazy. And this one, well, it just looks like we did a terrible number on it. So we're gonna go over with the 1500 grit now and see how much better that makes it. Okay, so now that we went through with the 800, it's got a nice little white haze to it. This is what we want. Next, we've dried it down. Make sure that the masking is still good. And then we're going to go over now with 1500 grit. So in this case, it's the thinner, and it's actually labeled 1500 grit on there. All right, I'm gonna start spraying right here. All right, in the middle. Okay, now let me start. Okay, so now we just finished up with the 1500 grit, and we're just gonna wipe it all off and see how it looks. This should be a lot less hazy, and then afterwards we're going to go over with a 3000, so better than it was. We'll let it dry, take another look at it. Okay, my little helper has gone back inside, but now what we're going to do is move on to the 3000 grit, which is a foam pad. I didn't even realize it was sandpaper at first until I saw 3000 grit on the back. So I've got a nice light haze going on across the entire thing, and so I'm going to just pull off the old 1500 grit and set that aside, and we're going to put on the 3000. And just like before, we're going to run it across, except this time, actually let me double check the instructions because I do not think we want water. This should be totally dry this time. And yes, so we want it to be totally dry. We want 13 to 1700 RPM, which I'm just going to move it on to number 2 because I'm pretty sure that's what we want. And let me make sure that the surface is totally dry. So no water on this one. And yeah, 13 to 1700 RPM, moderate pressure, back and forth, slow, overlapping motions at a steady, slow pace. So yeah, same thing. And afterwards, we're going to wipe lens and inspect. Here we go. Okay, so I do want to give you guys a quick comparison. This is before. All right. And I want to quickly go over to right now. It's still hazy, but it is quite a bit clear. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's some areas that look like maybe I applied too much pressure. So right here and right here's a little bit of a scratch right there. I don't know if it's picking up on camera very well, and right here there's surface. I'm not sure if I just first time on this, so you know, we'll see if the 3000 brings that out, but it is much better than before. Okay, so we are done with the step 3, which is preparing for polish, and now we're actually going to start on polishing the lens. So we need to attach this Powerball 4 lights foam polishing tool to the backing plate, which is, you know, relatively easy. Just take off the old 3000, set that aside, and center the new one just like, well, let me try to center it a little bit better than that. Right about like that, right? Okay, and now it says that we're going to put a nickel-sized amount on the center of it and then start the drill slowly. So we're going to go down to number 1, and we're going to increase the speed slowly at first to prevent slinging of all the polishing compound, and then we're going to go up to 13 to 1700 RPM, just like we did on step 3 when we were actually using the 3000 grit. So we'll go ahead and do that. Got it on step 1 to start, and let me see here, and go ahead and open this. Let's see if it's already open. Probably not. Nope. So let's go ahead and peel that back and apply a nickel-sized amount, which is right about, actually we should probably shake this first, huh? Let's see. Shake well before and during use. Is this well enough? Ugh. All right, now, now a nickel-sized amount. That looks like a nickel size, maybe. There we go. Okay. So we have number 1, which is our slow speed, and we're going to start going across, and then we'll increase speed to step 2. Hasn't really been much slinging on here, so we'll go ahead and start up to step 2 now. I have a feeling I need more. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and like something like that. A little bit more than a nickel. Back to slow speed number 1. Get it in there, then we're gonna go high speed. I would also suggest examining the the tape that you've got on there to make sure that you don't need to reapply, because it seems like it'll pull it right on up. I've already done this side with the 3000, at least half of it, and you can see it's dramatically improved over what we had before. Now I got to go ahead and get the corner here, which has some bulges that stick out. It's not as easy to get this side as the other one, so yeah, it might take a little bit of practice, and holding this thing steady isn't the easiest. Okay guys, just more or less wrapped up with that side, so let's take a look here. This side is, or this is where you can see that line. That's a dramatic difference between clear and hazy. Hopefully that shows up well. And now let's go over to this side. Look at that. Not much of a distinguishable line between where it was and where it is now. So pretty happy with this. All right, your results may vary. Just take your time, but overall, for 20 bucks, I think it's pretty good.